Now, it's time for the Anchormen podcast with Dan Ball and Riley Lewis.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the newest edition of the Anchormen podcast. I'm Dan Ball alongside my pal Riley Lewis in the beautiful San Diego One America News Studios, coming to you this week. Special guest. I hope it's going to be funny. I'm going to build her up big. She better be funny, or she never takes the stage again. I'm just kidding. Right. Comedians like that build up, right? We actually have
They thrive on it, actually.
This is a rarity in the entertainment industry. We have a conservative entertainer coming on, a comedian who actually tells jokes pretty much on everything, but a little extra pepper, if you will, a little extra salsa on the left, which I enjoy thoroughly. I went to one of her shows, enjoyed it thoroughly. Anyway, we'll get to that in a second. How you doing, my friend?
Good, great. It's been kind of a busy week as always, but I've been holding to my, we don't call it a resolution, do we? A goal of playing more music.
That's what you said. Big thing. Yep. That's what you said on the first January episode of this year.
Yes.
Because I said, I don't do resolutions. You said you don't. But I said, what's your goal?
Yes.
You're going to write and play more music. Is that why the guitar has returned to the set?
Yeah, I've been a lot better about it. And I've also, one other one was getting back into the gym. Finally did that. So,
you did that? I have not done that yet.
And I'm doing it regularly. So we'll see how long that lasts.
My gut tells me I need to get my ass in there.
No, come on. It does help though to work with all the stress and frustration. And
it's great for your mood.
Amazing. Yeah, it's amazing.
Let me tell you, when I was at like the peak a year or so ago, I was probably like 20 pounds heavier, like of muscle, not fat.
Right.
Working out 4 or 5 days a week, measuring the meals, weighing them, eating the right amount, the macros, whatever it's called, eating 4 meals, having replacement, shakes and bars in between the meals. So I was counting up the calories. I literally felt so good, way more positive up here.
Yes.
Plus, you feel like you can run through brick walls. And so, or at least I did. And then I had to plan a wedding with my now amazing wife.
Yep.
And then we bought a home. And so for the last year and about 3 months, I haven't seen the inside of a gym.
Yeah.
I'm bad.
But you were running around in those early days at the home, just ranch work. Basically, right? I mean, it's not like you just bought a home and then you
and then like almost 30 pounds withered away.
Exactly.
I was looking, last year I went
between
home.
The stress and the labor.
And family saw me and I was like, and they're like, are you taking Ozempic? What's wrong with you? I don't take that crap. And no, I'm like, I bought a ranch and all I do is work on it and I don't eat. And then I lost like 24 pounds in 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, well, it's interesting you say that. I recently saw my doctor and just a checkup, but he was saying, your health is important. Even if you just do 3 days a week, 30 minutes of cardio exercise, you drastically reduce your risk of developing like colon cancer, pancreatic cancer, right? I had no idea. Only 3 days a week, 30 minutes, that's enough cardio.
Number 1 cancer killer as of this week, I saw a headline.
And then he said, by the way, other people might want to push you onto stuff like Ozempic. Don't do it.
No kidding.
Do not do it. But I'm waiting for the day where we get all the data finally and it shows that it's eating away at your body and your tissue and your flesh. Like
we had a family member that's taken the generic one. She lost her gallbladder because of the pills. Have you not seen the Ozempic face these stars have?
Totally.
They're like fingers and hands. They look like it's like a skeleton with skin on it. Everything's all like sunken in and I would never take that crap.
Yeah, good.
Just have some self-discipline.
Completely.
Eat right and go to the gym.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
I've had my chunky phases, really scrawny, and in the middle phases. And guess what? Every time I wanted to get somewhere that I'd like better, just eat right and work out. And I get there's people that are 400, 500, 600 pounds, and they're like, there's no way I'm ever going to take this off.
Right,
I need the pill to start.
Sure.
Okay, I get that. But wasn't it supposed to be for diabetes? For the sugar?
So. Yeah, but I believe
it's for the sugar.
Yes.
It's not supposed to be for you losing weight.
Yeah, which I think by the way, at that point, you might be better off fasting because people can lose weight really quickly just on water fasts. If you're 700 pounds, just stop eating for a month and you'll drop weight crazy fast. So,
do you know what's also good for your health? Laughter. That's proven. That's scientific. Seriously.
Yeah.
If you stay in a positive mood and you laugh a little every day, people that laugh and have a good sense of humor and joke a lot live longer. That's actually scientific. Because if you're a miserable prick every day of your life and you don't find humor in anything and you can't joke around, you can't make fun of yourself, you're going to, one, lead a miserable life.
Yeah, seriously.
And two, you don't get those endorphins. Endorphins that'll spike in your brain when you start laughing and smiling. It's good for you.
Makes so much sense.
Let's
It
laugh
does.
tonight.
Yeah.
Should we get to our guest?
Yes, please.
All
Yeah.
right. Enough catching up for Riley. Now, you didn't come for that anyway. You come for the guest. Because in this format, unlike our talk shows, The Real Story and Real America, where you get 5-6 guests a night for only 5-10 minutes each, the whole hour here, we talk to our guest like tonight. Have you had this guest on your show?
I have. Yes,
Holy
I have.
cow!
I know.
The
I know.
The first podcast guest
I know.
that's actually been on your talk show.
Actually, I want this on the record. Did I connect you to her?
This is the first time.
Write down the day and the time.
Then you intro her. Where
were you? Okay. So, I'm sorry. This doesn't happen a lot. So
well, I know, because every week it's someone that typically has been on my show or I've known person or whatever. We bring them on.
Yeah.
You're like, I didn't know this. This is great. This person's amazing. And then I give them to you. Then you put them on your talk show. Then you steal them from me, you little guest stealer. So this week, that's right. For the first time in over a year of Anchormen podcast, our special guest tonight is courtesy of Riley Lewis. So if you don't like her, it's his fault. Go.
Okay. All right. Well, she is many things. Many things. Among those, a comic, podcaster, great commentator. Can I say a culture warrior? I feel like that's appropriate.
Oh, I think she'll agree with that.
A real warrior.
Can I call her a conservative entertainer like I did?
Yes.
Because I think her jokes skew more to making conservative people laugh than liberal people laugh. Although, if you had a good sense of humor, you'd laugh at all of it, like I do.
Yes.
Tell a joke on me. Tell a joke on DJT. You know what I always say? Just make it funny. Like when Jimmy Kimmel was ripping me a couple years ago, and I was ripping him back and forth on our shows, I'm like, just make them funny. If you're going to make fun of my last name and balls and testicle, make the damn joke funny, Jimmy, or shut up. Anyway.
So without further ado, right? Chrissy Mayer.
Comedian.
Oh my
podcaster.
gosh, it's so good to be here. It's true. Riley made me get a tattoo on my lower back that said Riley was here first. I'm just like, I know
weren't
my
supposed to
husband.
tell anybody.
What'd your
My
husband think
husband
of that?
was very upset, but I was
bet
like,
he
well,
was.
this is the deal.
All right, well, the cat's out of the bag now.
Where'd you put my tattoo?
I'm still trying to figure out a place for that. It's true. Laughter does make you live longer. I'm actually 85 years old. So
You're on
living
Ozempic and you have a great plastic surgeon. 85.
I'm on Ozempic. I have forever diarrhea. I have a colostomy bag hooked up to me, hooked up to my studio here. So it's thrilling.
I just had that image and went,
Yeah.
It's crazy because there's so many, and I was on every diet, like 20 years ago, and I would be somebody who would jump on Ozempic. And then I'm so glad I waited just a little bit because now you're hearing about not only the forever diarrhea, but people are going blind. And also, they look like very gaunt.
Gaunt. That's
do.
the word.
That's
They look
super obvious.
I noticed it on
Yes.
the roast of Tom Brady, like a year ago, right on Comedy Central when Ben Affleck came out. You knew that boy, the Affleck, is on the Ozempic. It didn't look like him. I'm like, is that Ben Affleck? Because it was all sucked in and.
Well, and when
looks
everyone
weird.
can tell that you're on something, it probably is not. That's not good, right? I mean, when you see someone who's losing weight but still healthy, you can notice these people don't look healthy. They look sick.
Well, it eats away. Doesn't it eat away, Chrissy, like your muscle tissue and your tendons and
And
stuff?
your
I read.
bones, right?
I
It's your
think so
bones.
because these people don't look like they're maintaining their muscle tone. They just look
Yeah.
skeletal.
They look very weak. It's really concerning. And there's going to be a day, trust me, write this down. We're going to have this giant data set. It does horrible things to your organs and your bones. It's just going to be time.
Are you
We just
throwing
need time.
Ozempic into your routine when you do stand up lately? Is that one of the joke?
No, I don't have as many Ozempic jokes like that I could, but but I'm sure like if I see people in the crowd who look like it's now part of like the conversation. It's like it's the hot new thing. So I'll probably end up mentioning it in the next show.
So
And to your point, Dan, about my jokes becoming, because I had a lot of jokes from being a single gal, because I've been doing comedy like, I don't know, 16 plus years. But now it's very easy to turn your single gal jokes into conservative, wholesome mom jokes. I'll give you an example. I love being married. But now when my husband says he has a big load for me, he means laundry.
okay.
That's a conservative joke right there.
That is a conservative joke. Some on the conservative side might go, "Oh my God, that's vulgar." load.
What do
I
you have
think that's
against
a good joke.
laundry?
Yeah, and there's no profanity in it.
Mm-hmm.
And what married couple doesn't make some sexual innuendos and jokes at each other? I mean, I'm that typical 51-year-old man that you hear comedians joking about all the time. I'm sure you do the bits now of, my husband comes in and anything that I say to him, he has to turn sexual. Yeah, older guys do that. We're like, yeah, I'll give you a da-da-da, or here's a na-na-na, or I'll show you a na-na-na. Yeah, that's what guys do. My wife thinks it's funny, but probably annoying too.
It's good. It means you still got it.
That's
Yeah,
right. I saw an article the other day that said,
Well said.
the minute your husband doesn't walk by and give you a little tap on the bottom and a little wink like, hey, wifey, years later, you better start worrying about your marriage. My wife and I have been together for, I got to get it right.
Yeah.
Hold on.
6 months.
No, shut up, Chrissy. No, you know better than that. No, we've been married a year and a half. We were engaged for about 4 or 5 because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
We've been together since I would call it 12 years. Hopefully she won't get mad at me. 11 to 12 years.
Wow.
And to this day, I still give my wife the little, hey, girl, what's wrong with that? If you stop doing that, you're going to have problems. That's my opinion.
No, fair enough.
Do you still get a little from the...
Yes. Sometimes, yeah, my husband, while I'm making dinner, he'll just walk by and pants me, like old school style. That's always fun. Keeping me on my toes in front
Wait,
of the
are
hot
the kids
stove.
in the room when he's depantsing you? Because that's a no-no. I mean,
No,
nobody wants to see mommy's no special places.
it's true.
That's true.
It does raise a good point. Should we upbringing background? Should we? I mean, it's not.
Oh, we're getting to it, but we're having so much fun right now. Do we have to go to that yet?
Well, I want to know. I want to know how you got into
Okay.
comedy. I want to know all
All
that.
right,
I mean,
that's true. That's true. So do our viewers.
Here's
I'm
another
sure.
conservative joke for you. No, this isn't even really a joke, but I was like doing cleaning today, and I was like, actually, I was like jealous of the cleaning appliances around me. I was like, wow, it used to be me that got turned on multiple times a day, but now it's this vacuum. So
Yeah. Those are clean jokes.
Those are. I think that's fine.
I like when you make fun of liberals, though, when you're on the stage. I got to say, or if you get heckled. I was watching one of your clips the other day on YouTube, and you had some blue hairs in the audience. I think you were down in Texas somewhere.
I
You're
couldn't
like, I remember
believe
that one.
it. I was like, what are they doing here?
These big blue-haired whales started ripping on you and screaming and yelling and heckling. And I'm just like, why do you come to a comedy show, number one, and heckle? Shut your mouth and let the person perform. Now, if they completely suck and the whole crowd knows the person sucks, then I agree a little heckling is involved to get them off the stage. Like, shorten up the set, you're done. But if it's a political joke and you know who the person is, like, why did that table of gals, I don't know if that's the clip we're going to show in a minute, but why would you go to a comedian's show knowing who they are and the jokes they tell and then heckle? Don't spend your money and go to Chrissy's show.
There's no way they knew who I was. I'm not like a household name or anything. I'm like somewhere in the middle, I suppose.
Us you are.
And they just thank you. And they're women. They probably thought, oh, a female comic. She's going to just be up there talking about her vagina for an hour and the things that go in and out of it. And that was not my set.
No.
And
Not at all.
And not only were they liberals, but they looked so textbook, like with the short hair and the brightly colored hair, and they heckle because I'm wrong and they're right, and it's their job. They're better. They're more educated. It's their job to correct me on my jokes because that's the world they live in.
And they had the shaved back of the head with the spiky blue hair covering the shaved head, very pear-shaped and large.
Lots of piercings. Lots of piercings.
Yeah, I saw the video. Yeah.
Well, so, I mean, because you tour all the time, so I imagine by now you can just look at somebody and you basically know where they stand, right? I mean, you don't have to ask, right?
And that's how all people do this. All human beings, like it's a survival mechanism. You got to look at somebody and be like, all right, I'm going to stereotype you. And like most of the time, you're right. So that's why you shouldn't get mad at racist jokes because it's like I didn't invent these stereotypes. I didn't make.
They've been around since the beginning of time, and you're a comedian.
The Asian lady's terrible at driving. I didn't like create that. I didn't, No. I'm the one telling the black people to put the items back to the Target, put them back on the shelves.
You're right, and that's not what racism is. It's a joke. That's the whole point. What you're doing is it's designed to make people laugh. If people
Think
take
about
it too
the
seriously,
comedians
that's
over the
their
years.
problem.
Think about the comedians over the years white, black, red, purple, yellow, who've made fun of every single color, race, creed, religion out there. Nobody used to have a problem with this. I mean, case in point, Don Rickles.
Yes.
Don Rickles made fun of everybody, and nobody tried to cancel Don Rickles, and the guy did it for like 60, 70 years.
Because it was funny.
Yeah.
It was always funny.
Because if Don Rickles was alive today and had social media, it's 100% because of social media, and it's given people this sense that they have access and influence that they don't have. And like, unfortunately, comedy club owners have, in a sense, verified that by being like, oh, we will cancel this person because, 14 people complained. And the people who complain about shows and try to get people canceled, they're never the same people who will ever buy comedy tickets. They won't even buy tickets to see a liberal comic. They're just haters, and they want to see you destitute without an ability to make a living. They just, your ideology doesn't match up, so therefore you shouldn't be working.
The wife and I went to see the who are those twin Jewish brothers that do stand up?
Oh,
the something brothers.
What was the club?
Was it Jeffrey Epstein and Lex Wexner? Are they doing stand-up now?
Soon.
These are twins. These are twins.
Oh.
They were here in La Jolla, near San Diego, at the Comedy Store.
That's it, yeah.
They've had specials before. Why am I brain farting their name? It's the Da-Da-Da brothers, the Blah brothers. Anyway, their jokes were good. My wife and I loved it. In the middle, they started doing
the Hodge twins.
No, not the Hodge twins. That's going to upset me. I'm going to figure out who they are now. But anyway.
Maybe they've become so successful that they're now Jewish.
Is it the Sklar brothers? The Sklar brothers.
Could be that. Could be that.
One wears glasses, the other doesn't. The hair is kind of similar. They're very, very similar dudes. And they just did, anyway.
Just keep going. Hold on.
Set was hilarious. In the middle, a couple rips on DJT and ICE jokes, because the liberals love making fun of that. I didn't heckle. My wife and I didn't get up and leave. I looked over at her and I tapped her and I went, go figure. Like, they're going to tell these jokes. But I stayed and I laughed at the other 98% of their jokes. Because
you're an adult,
jokes.
Dan.
They're jokes, Chrissy. They're jokes.
Well, and you're also not easily offended, unlike everyone nowadays. People are just way too sensitive. It ruins everything.
Because I offend people, so I hope that people don't. I'm not going to get offended.
It is the Sklar brothers, but you do it inadvertently, though. People are just too sensitive. They're just across the board. Politics, comedy, whatever. Everyone's just so quick to get offended. Just chill out.
Yeah.
They're too sensitive, paired with they think they're more important than they are. They think that their opinion on this comedy show, on this comedian or set, is more important than 80% than the majority of the people in the crowd.
You said social media is the big problem, right? You're right, Chrissy. I'll tell you why. This has made millions of people narcissists. Millions. Hey, leave that to the idiots on TV and politicians. We're the narcissists. Shut your damn mouth. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, they're on here and they're like, I'm important and I will say that Chrissy sucks and let's cancel her next show.
Yeah.
Who are you? You're John Smith from blah, 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 Idaho, working in a whatever. Nobody know. Your opinion doesn't matter. Oh, wait. Now 10 of your friends said the same thing. Now 10 more. And like you said, Chrissy, now, somebody tagged the nightclub and you don't get to perform now. You're canceled. When did you see, and I'm going to work getting to her history and her background.
Totally, yeah, sure.
When did you notice the big shift out there in doing comedy, for you anyway, where the audiences, the social media response really turned where they started canceling you guys? Was it 5 years ago, 10 years ago?
For me personally, it was 2018.
Okay.
Yeah. That's when I saw like, if I have a beef with a liberal comic and there's a misunderstanding about like, for example, me doing a parody of them. Like I did a parody of a liberal comic back in 2018 and like it was just like, you think like, oh, we can make fun of each other, right? And she like a bunch of rabid dogs like sicked. I don't even know what the word sucked. Sicked. You know, you sick a dog on someone. Anyway, I've been married for too long. No, I'm kidding. I've been married not even 3 years. It's just
while he's watching the kids right now.
That was my first sort of like canceling. Is that this liberal comic was like oh my God, don't ever. And then so that was one wave, and then being an out Trump supporter was another wave of cancellation. And then for me personally, the biggest wave was January 6th. It was like, oh, don't ever book this comedian. I had people in my Facebook saying you're friends with Chrissy Mayer on Facebook. You should really unfriend her because
wait a
she
minute.
was
Were you
at
there?
the Capitol. Yeah, I was there, but I didn't go inside.
You
I
didn't
just
go
was like,
so you didn't do because they saw a picture of you there.
because I tweeted like that I was there.
I was
yeah,
supposed to
and
be
I'm-
there the night before. I got invited by Roger Stone and some other folks, Charlene
kidding.
Bollinger, to speak on the 5th on a different stage down from the Ellipse, and I couldn't make it. Otherwise, I'd have been there on the 6th, and I'd have probably been walking peacefully down to the Capitol to have my voice heard, like the president said. Anywho.
Yeah.
Okay, Riley's giving me we got to ask her. So let's go back and find out how Miss Chrissy became Chrissy Mayer the comedian. So here's what we do on this show, because we still have like 35 minutes left with you. Where did you grow up? So you have to tell us where you were born, where you went to school, did you go to college, you go in the military, what was your first job, and then get us up to when you went into comedy, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay, grew up on Long Island, which a lot of funny people have come out of Long Island. Well, I guess except for Amy Schumer. So we'll put her aside.
Poor Chucky's niece, Chucky Schumer's niece.
Oh my gosh, and successful people too. Like I think Colin Quinn is from Long Island. I think Howard Stern is from
Tim
Long Island.
Dillon
Well, he's
also from Long Island?
not only is Tim Dillon from Long Island, but Tim Dillon was in my like little kids dance class when we were both
No kidding.
And I have I don't know if I'll ever find this photo, but it was like he was the first like little what would become a gay man. Like he was the first, and he was a very good dancer. He was just like very passionate about dance. He had a blonde like bowl haircut, and I was like, I can't believe that is
Tim Dillon had a
Tim
bowl
Dillon.
cut?
Yes. Oh my God. I have to find this photo. I'll have to turn my house upside down to find it. But anyway, yeah. Tim Dillon, iconic. One of my favorites.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
So Long
one of the
Island,
best, yeah.
you are one of how many kids? What did mom and dad do? Give us this upbringing on Long Island of Chrissy. Come on now.
Okay, Long Island, which is famous for
hot dogs.
Everyone there is like Italian or a cop or a teacher or a firefighter. That's how it used to be. Now
I'm
it's
Sicilian.
Like, who knows?
Don't talk trash, girl.
Ooh, okay. So I'm the youngest of three, and ultimately like got into comedy because I never got enough attention, and then mixed that with a little bit of a heavy dose of daddy issues in my 20s, and there you go. And I lived in Brooklyn, so I had everything to be like a mega success. And so anyway, yeah, a lot of funny people out of Long Island. I think it's the chemical testing that happened during the 40s. You either get cancer or you get funny, or you're both.
Jeez. Okay, but
really
wait a
what
minute.
happens to
You
us.
skipped from little kid to then late 20s. We missed the middle. Are you doing comedy and trying it in high school? Did you try it in college?
Okay.
When did you try? Did you have some normal jobs before you went into comedy?
I've literally always worked a normal job until 2021 when I was fired for not getting the vaccine. But I'll go back to like sort of the beginning. I wanted to be a news reporter. I wanted to be like an anchor. I wanted to be like, I don't know, who knows, in the leg chair or something. So I majored in communications. And then I had an internship my junior year of college at Dateline, working for Stone Phillips. My older people remember him.
Oh,
And
I
was
know
like, wow,
Stone Phillips. I met him. I used to love Stone Phillips doing Dateline.
I was like, this man is extremely boring. Like me as a 16-year-old met him and was like, oh God, this
Tall,
is not
skinny,
what I
and
want
big
to be.
head, right? Tall, skinny, and big head.
Gigantic TV head. Yeah. And then I
We all
managed
have
to
it.
get myself. I mean, better a big head. You don't want to have a little head. Like
Hey,
a
can I do a
pea
head joke right now? I just set you
Sure.
up. Never mind. Go.
Ah.
Wasn't talking about
And
this
then
one.
I was able to get myself an internship for my senior year at Late Night with Conan O'Brien. This is when Conan was still in New York City. And that's when I realized, okay, these are my people. I have to do something with comedy. But my parents were always like, that's nice, but we paid for you to go to college, so you still have to have some kind of job with health insurance and benefits and whatever. So after I graduated college with my very useful communications degree, and I was like a minor in women's studies. So yeah,
Very liberal of
There's
you.
that. There's that. So
Women's
liberal.
studies.
I was in like the social justice
I
club.
was gonna say, what the hell are
at one
women's
point.
studies? What is
Oh
that?
yeah.
Is there one called men's studies that I could do if I went to?
That's just called going to college, I think, in men's studies.
Women's studies.
I took like there was a semester where I had ecofeminism and sports broadcasting in the same
Ecofeminism.
semester. And they're like, that couldn't have been like the more opposite classes, like ecofeminism. There was like one guy in the class. And then in sports broadcasting, I was like the only girl in the class. And I remember I did my final report, and Tom McDonald was my teacher, and he was like a famous sports broadcasting guy. And he referred to my final report as like cute. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess this is not the industry for me. But anyway, so I graduate. I immediately started taking improv classes with the UCB theater, which is where, like Amy Poehler and Tina Fey and a lot of those guys came out of, and a lot of people that are like in commercials. You see like, TJ and Dave that are in all the Sonic commercials. Those guys come from an improv background. And then I did the Magnet Theater. I did a one-woman show, which ran for 6 weeks, all the while always having some kind of day job because, like I didn't have rich parents. So
you got to pay the bills.
I would like live at home and then commute to the city, do whatever day job, and then like stay a couple days a week and do improv classes or sit and just watch improv shows, and did that for like 5 years, and then finally started to do stand up in like I think 2010, 2011.
Okay, so you've been doing it. You've been doing this as not a full-time job, but a job, a career, something you were going for, your goal, your art.
Side hustle.
For about 15 years. 15, 16 years. This has been Chrissy's move. Comedian Chrissy.
Always had a job, would get fired, would find a new job. That's just how it went. I had a Rolodex of headhunters. I'd be like, all right, girls, we got fired again. What's next? Like I wouldn't even care where I would work. I worked like, I've had probably like almost 20 different jobs in my life.
What was the worst job?
The worst?
Yeah, the worst of the worst. The worst of the worst.
I think most. Oh man, worst. Okay, worst. Like most physically demanding is when I worked in a production like it was like a Fashion Week production spot. So I'd be making wires with my bare hands, like for cameras, and I'd be doing like gaffing and stuff like that. And it was like there were no windows in this office. Most interesting day job was when I worked at an all boys private prep school on the Upper East Side. That's the same school where actually Trump interviewed Barron, and it's the same school where Tom Brady and Bridget Moynihan, their son that they had, I forget his name was Jack or whatever. They interviewed him there.
You had to get some good material from working at that place, though, an all boys school.
You'd get some sort of like celebrity sightings, but mostly with like the kids of the people who worked at the UN, because where it was in the city. But that's when I learned so much about I guess the sort of like New York elite, right? Like it's mostly like their nannies dropping the kids off at school. And then like these little kids, they'd have to audition for kindergarten essentially, with these play dates. It's a play date, insane. But like we've got a clipboard and we're grading them.
That's
and like
insane.
This one kid came in like so nervous, so worked up. He just booted, like puked all over the lobby. Oh. And I said to the this woman, Debbie, who was like the evaluator, I was like, oh, is this gonna hurt his chances? And she's like, oh yeah, there's no way he's getting in. I was like, oh man,
that's not
like his
nice.
Parents
and
probably
it's his parents'
worked him
fault.
up.
Yes, the narcissistic mother at home was probably sitting there with the 5-6-year-old. You said kindergarten, going, now don't you screw this up for us. You better get into this school, little Johnny.
It's
there are
crazy.
Some sick, twisted parents.
And then some of the high school kids would sometimes I'd have to cover at the front desk, and some of the high school kids, they come up like twitching to pick up their Adderall that like their mom or nanny has to drop off at the front desk. And I'd be like, wow. It was kind of sad. But
money don't buy happiness. I think we all know that sitting on this show.
Oh yeah. Overall, they were like,
we ain't
sweet
rich.
kids.
I'm pretty happy.
That was an interesting peek into that world. God, I also worked at like a title insurance company on Wall Street. So I was like in the whole finance world. I think maybe coolest job was when I worked at a hedge fund, and this was like right before the economic collapse. So it was like maybe early 2008, or it was like just before it. And it was a hedge fund that had an office in New York and in London. So they flew both offices out to the Virgin Gorda islands, basically, for we had like a cruise around these islands, and it was crazy. There was
sure
like
you didn't stop
caviar.
at Epstein's Island? Come on, Chrissy.
No.
Sure?
No, I would have remembered that. Yeah. I would have been like, yeah, let's make $200. So that was fun because the guys would get drunk and they were like jumping off the yacht in their suits and stuff. And I was like, oh, this is a fun little peek into the finance world.
You were like the Wolfus of Wall Street. Is that what
I
a female-
was. And then I just, that was my first like hardcore executive assistant job because one of my bosses was like, book me on the red eye. And I didn't know what a red eye was at the time. I was looking up like, what's red eye airlines? You know, like maybe he wants a flight on the red eye airline.
You weren't very well traveled. You didn't leave Long Island, did you, girl?
Oh yeah, no, I'm not well traveled. But and that's
You can take
What
the
is
girl out of
Red
Long
Eye
Island. You
Airline?
can't take the
Yeah.
Long Island out of the girl.
no, we were not a traveling family there. My dad was a landscaper, and my mom was like a secretary at the middle school. So
Wait a
we
minute,
were,
you're
like,
white.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My dad was one of the last great white landscapers of our time before the Mexicans took it over. He really was great.
Hey, quick sign up. What's Long Island like now? And / where are you? Are you still based in that area?
No, I'm in Westchester now, and I think
Don't dox her. The lefties will come after. Don't say where
my
you live.
address is.
They'll come after you. They do. It's not a joke.
I would say Long Island, it's like everywhere else, probably getting increasingly more like diverse, unfortunately, but it's still, Long Island's pretty red, similar to Staten Island. But yeah, still has like a lot of like Irish Catholics.
So is your hair,
and, like,
is that
teachers
real?
and cops. I am chemically enhanced.
Oh. Oh. Where else are you enhanced? No, just kidding.
Yeah, you
Just
asked me if I dye
kidding.
my
You're
pubes,
married now.
Dan. I'm a mom. I don't have time to wash my pubes, let alone dye them.
All right.
I was getting ready for to do the whole drapes and carpet joke, but she didn't go there. Good. Thank
Oh,
goodness.
my old
No,
joke
no,
used
no.
to
It's
be,
fine. We don't need to go there. Never mind.
I will go there.
Okay.
This is one of my very old jokes would be like, people do ask me if the carpets match the drapes. And then I would say, no, I have hardwood floors. But I can't really, that's not an accurate joke anymore
Because you're married and you have kids.
I'm a mom. Because I'm a mom
Right.
and I'm lucky if I can shower.
Yeah, it's more like a broom closet filled with spider webs and old rugs. Got it.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
So
When I cough, dust comes out. Mhm.
all right. So we got you
All
up
right.
to where are we at now?
So you were working. You did not go to the island, but you were in the vicinity.
Right.
Yes, right, but
Right.
definitely did
Oh,
not
yeah.
go there.
Did many different day jobs, all different kinds. I was a foot model for a couple of years.
Wait a minute. Did you
Wait,
say a
years?
foot? A foot
I
model?
was a foot
not
model.
hand.
Yeah.
Because I've heard of hand models. I've met some
Sure.
that are hand models.
Oh yeah, I got the best dogs in the business, baby. I'm a size
You know,
7
I'm going to
with
ask.
high
You're
arches.
going to have to show us now. Or did those go to hell when she got married and had kids?
No, I didn't go. Hello, who's that?
She was a foot. What do you model
was-
when you're a foot model? Shoes, but then you can't see the foot.
Yeah, shoes. So I worked for this company called Matt Burnson. It was in Tribeca, and it was like $50 an hour. But they never have you for an hour at a time. They have you for like 10 minutes at a time, 15 minutes at a time. You show up, and they would be like, "Here's all the shoes we got from our factory in like Spain or Brazil or wherever," and then you just try them on and tell them like what's comfortable and what's not, and what changes.
What
to
makes a
make.
good, successful foot model and what makes a bad one?
Oh, you gotta keep up the pedicures for sure because people are looking at your feet. You know, I mean, I couldn't even believe this was a real job because I found it on Craigslist. I thought I would show up and there would be like a bunch of like big Russian dudes like could
Perverts.
jack off on my feet or something. Yeah, and that just didn't happen. So
I mean, there are websites for that. People like
There
feet
are.
around the world. It's pretty gross. But I
There
can see
are,
that
and-
if you got to wear a sandal
Right.
what's my daughter wear all the time? I
yeah,
hate
like
those
a
shoes.
espadrille or something. Just
Crocs,
don't have
Crocs.
your feet stink.
Sure.
If
Yeah,
you got to
just
wear a
don't-
Croc, you don't want that back heel looking all shack nasty where you got to cut all the
don't-
callus
you-
off.
You
right?
gotta like stay on top of your calluses. Yeah, just make sure your feet don't
No
stink.
corns.
But and so that's definitely not a full-time thing.
No,
right?
that was like a second job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, is the second toe bigger than the big toe? Because I don't think foot models should have the second toe bigger than
No,
right? It's gotta go down
those
even.
Those are freakish.
the right.
That's
You have an even where it starts here on the big
I have
and goes.
I have an even toe
Okay, 'cause
like
I can't
decline.
stand people that got that like. Here's the second toe. Here's the big toe. it's
Apparently,
bigger.
if your
That's not
second
cool.
toe is longer than your big toe, apparently that means you're like have the propensity to be athletic. But I don't know. It's unsightly in my opinion.
Really?
I concur. Okay, so we're up to. We know a lot about her now in 34 minutes.
All right.
Okay, now we're up to So you said around 2011, you were making it more a serious thing for comedy. So you've got 15 years under your belt. But then by 18, so only 6-7 years later, you were getting canceled. In that 6 or 7 year period, where were you doing gigs? Where were you performing? Were you doing television stuff, just stand-ups in clubs? And what was the response when you were getting started?
A good mix of all of it. Like anybody who started stand up in the 2010s, it's like you have to do bringers, you have to work your way up to a place where you are doing sets or spots at like a New York City like regular comedy club. So it's a mix of like club spots with produced shows, which like, you know, I produced a show, your friends all produced different shows at bars. I had a show for 6 years at the Stonewall Inn.
Whoa.
Which shows you, yeah, like.
Wait, is that a restaurant or hotel restaurant?
It's actually it's a landmark in New York City. It's where the Stonewall riots started.
It's famous, yes, yeah.
Oh.
What was it, 1969 or
Yeah,
I forget the year.
60s.
But you got,
Yeah.
They
so
attacked
wait,
police officers.
a
I think,
redheaded
right?
Irish girl got a constant gig there for a few years?
I worked my ass off to have that be a monthly show. Like I would ask for one date 1 month, do the show the next time, and then I'd be like, ask for another date, and I had to consistently sell it out. And have it do well for like months and months until they finally were like, okay, we will give you, you know, the first Saturday of the month. And so that ran but then they would also randomly cancel my show for gay stuff. Understandably, they'd be like, oh, we have an urgent Madonna sing along. We have to move your show. And I'd be like, okay. The gays need to sing along to Madonna, and I guess that's fine. But this was before the whole like trans ideology, like the whole like trans social contagion really was blowing up. So I was just there, and I would scout, you know, like up and coming LGBT comics, and I'd have people come over from the Cellar, which is the best comedy club in the city.
Cellar,
So
I've heard of. Yes,
it was
that's
a
big one in New
great
York, yeah.
show. It was, and to have a show run for 6 years in New York City is like that's
like
tough. 20 years.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Have you ever gotten to do the Cellar?
No. I had a tryout there once, and I don't know I think it fell through. But I know the owner / booker guy. I should probably just hit him up again.
Well, you're screwed. You're on One America News right now, and if he's a liberal, he's going to be like, that woman went on that right wing.
Oh yeah, he knows where my politics are at for sure. And anyway,
it shouldn't matter. Funny's funny. If you're funny, who cares who you voted for? If you're funny and you can make me laugh, like I forget one of the interviews I did with DJT, we were talking about somebody that was ripping him, making jokes. I forget which comedian or which celebrity. And I said what I just said to you guys a minute ago. I'm like, just be funny. And the president does the same thing. He's like, I don't mind, just be funny. Actually, I think he said be effing funny, but be funny. That's all. Just be funny. Mm-hmm. I don't care if you make fun of people I look up to or like or vote for or whatever, or me personally. Matter of fact, when I met Don Rickles, I was doing local TV news in Palm Springs, California. And he did an interview with me for the morning news, 5 to 7 a.m. And then I got tickets to front row at the Indian Casino that night he was performing at.
No kidding.
And then he pulled me up on stage. And I'm sure Chrissy's familiar because lots of
Don Rickles
comics
pulled you on stage?
Well, now hold on. He pulled a whole bunch. This was his shtick. He pulled a bunch of people and they put chairs up, okay? And he had a little bit of everything up there. And he went down the row like he does his short little fat body fast. And he started saying a bunch of slurs, right? Saying, because there was someone that was Hispanic, someone that was black, someone that was white, people that were straight, gay, whatever. And he was going down the line going, you know, and I was one of them. I thought it was hilarious. Nobody got offended.
What was your slur?
Oh, what was I? Hold on.
That's a good question.
Oh, I can't say the word because they'll cancel it.
Did he call
on
you
YouTube.
gay?
Yeah, but the F word for gay.
Oh, FAGG. That's
Definitely can't
I
say
can't
classic.
say that.
This is on.
They'll kill this off of YouTube.
Yeah, no,
It's a
no
classic
chance.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
chance.
So he was like, you know, the S word for a Mexican. He didn't use the N word. He just said black, blah, blah.
Yeah,
And then I was I was a hag.
Understood.
Yeah.
Could you? By the way, I do.
I got to
hope-
censor myself, Chrissy. Sorry, because
Yeah.
you know, we want this to go, you know, like wildfire with you
Yeah.
on social
I
media
mean,
and
what a-
elsewhere. And if we
What
don't,
an interesting way to come out of the closet, Dan, is by recounting this story.
yeah, lots of people. Trust me, this was in a place that I did local news for years. So everybody was like, "Man, did Don Rickles nail you?" I'm like, just because I'm on TV and I wear makeup doesn't mean I frickin' bat for the other team.
Just
Okay.
because my clothes
down.
fit doesn't mean I enjoy a D.
Wangs in the desert. Wangs in the desert. Wings.
Okay, you can't do inside jokes when the guest doesn't know what the hell you're talking about, Riley.
I'm sorry. Okay. The point is,
this will probably set her up for a joke. I've been teeing her up, and she's been nailing them. Okay, I ran for Congress years ago, Chrissy, in Palm Springs, and two gentlemen that happen to be gay that own a restaurant let me have a fundraiser at their restaurant, to which then someone attacked them, started an online boycott. It really hurt their business. Somebody spray painted crap all over their big, antique, expensive doors, and the name of the restaurant happens to be called Wangs in the Desert. Go ahead.
Oh, wow. That would be like if my husband tried to have sex with me right now. You'd see a tumbleweed go by, and you just hear, ooh, wah, wah, wah. Like if you put your ear up to it like a seashell, you hear, wah,
She's doing the good, the bad, the ugly now. Here we go. Here we go. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay. What's next?
Your process. Because these comics, it's such a personalized thing. So could you tell us, how do you write your jokes? How do you even come up with material? Do you just read through the headlines and just see the insanity in this world?
And are you more of because I got a lot of comedian friends out in LA that are trying to make it. A couple have made it. Do you write a full set? Do you only write a few? And do you like mix in the crowd work with the set you write? Or do you just do crowd work if people are idiots and heckle? Like, yeah, what's your process?
Yes, the answer is yes to all of that. Like if I'm doing a show at a state, in a bit different, like a particular town or state, like I will try to familiarize myself with like what do people care about here? What do people eat here? Like what are people like? Because like for some reason with Tampa, Florida, like everyone there is like a sexual deviant. Like they just I one time did a show in Tampa. I was like, how many of you have had a threesome? And it was like 3/4 of the crowd raised their hand. I was like, Tampa, okay.
So your JJ jokes go well down there.
So right. So it's a mix of old jokes, newer jokes. Yes, certainly like I'll consider the headlines and like the trending topics, right? And just sometimes just say a true statement, say something that is probably on everybody else's mind too. And that's kind of like a pressure release. And sometimes just saying a true thing gets a laugh. So it's a mix of kind of all of it. And then, yeah, like a good amount of my set is going to be crowd work just because that's what makes it fun for me. I really think the show should be about the people, and I'll weave my material in, but I want to learn about the people that are sitting in front of me and just be like, okay, well, how do the jokes that I have apply to this particular specific audience?
What's harder, by the way, because like my daughter's 18 and she is like in love with this new young hot kid. I think his name's Matt Rife. Is that his name?
Oh,
Rife?
yeah.
Yeah. He has at least 2 specials out, she showed me, where the whole show is crowd work.
Yeah,
he only wrote a couple jokes in between. He'd like do 10 minutes of crowd work, then tell one story joke, hit that punchline, go back to crowd work. And I counted, only told like 4 or 5 jokes in the 90-minute special. The whole thing was crowd work.
That's great.
What's harder, crowd work or writing a set, practicing the set, and then just going up and delivering a set?
I think crowd work is easier for me.
Oh, really?
But I'm not the norm. I know some comics that never do crowd work at all.
That's what I've heard. They're scared of it, I've heard. Some comics won't touch it.
Well, it's a risk. Yeah, you're definitely risking like, oh, you're an architect. And then you go, I don't have any jokes about being an architect. Well,
but that's
moving
a great way
on.
If you don't, then you just roll that and ask the next person, what do you do?
Yeah, you just acknowledge it. But Matt Rife, like, is such a great example of he really, I don't want to say maybe he did make popular crowd working in sort of like modern stand-up. But what's good about crowd work clips, especially, is like you can post clips of you and you're not burning through your material. So let's say you are working on a new album and you want to save those jokes for your album. You're like, okay, I can just post my crowd work clips, and people can get a taste of who you are without
and nobody can plagiarize. I always hear that's a big thing with comics, and that really pisses comics off, is plagiarism. A lot of comics over the years will steal other people's bits and then just tweak it a bit and go, oh, no, I wrote that. That's mine. And you're like, no, wait a minute. True. I heard that joke 9 years ago from so-and-so.
Wait, Chrissy, I could so be wrong, but do you remember, was it Dane Cook? They got in big trouble for literally ripping off bits.
I think, and Carlos Mencia, too. And then
he was so big in movies.
You're right.
Right?
I think you're right.
Was it Good Luck Chuck? He did Employee of the Month.
Oh, yeah.
He was so funny he had his time he had 15 minutes of fame. And then one day, someone found out that he was ripping off Steve Martin. Right?
Oh
Or,
man, that's the
that?
worst. I think that's
I'm
the
looking it
absolute
up.
worst thing that could happen to you is to get that kind of a reputation. Another comic who's like working a lot today is Vic DiBitetto. He is also a known joke thief of like a lot of other like lesser known, less popular Italian type comedians, like same sort of type as him, and he'll like he's just plucked off a lot
you
of other
nailed it.
people's jokes.
Sorry to interrupt. He was right. Allegations of plagiarism, joke theft, all throughout the 2000s plagued Dane Cook.
Ruined his
You're right.
career.
Oof.
Joke theft. Who was the other one you said? Who else was a plagiarizer?
Yeah, what was his name, Chrissy?
Oh, Carlos Mencia.
Mencia. He had his own special on Comedy
widely
Central,
known.
right? What was that called? The Mind of Mencia. They gave him his own show.
Oh yeah. But sometimes it's like, oh well, it's a race to see who can get the biggest first, and that's sort of like that's who wins ultimately. So it happens a lot.
Well, I'm sorry.
And then there's also like same brain too. Like the comics sometimes share an outlook on life, and maybe we'll have a similar take on a subject matter. But when you notice like, oh, this is a word for word same joke as someone else, then that's kind of hard to ignore.
Well, yeah, because like, in today's day and age, obviously people are going to make jokes about Donald Trump, about conservatives, about the MAGA movement, if they're liberal comedians, or even not. I mean, I know, for instance, I really like, and I saw him at the Comedy Store in La Jolla a couple months back, Steve Byrne. He's an American, and he always jokes, because I think he's Irish and Japanese, or is it Irish and Korean? Either way, he's Asian and white, right? He makes jokes about everybody, which is great. And he will do a little bit on DJT, but I'm pretty sure he's a conservative like us. And then he'll do a lot more jokes on the left. I love that. I laugh at that all the time. And again, if I go to a liberal comic and his majority is on conservative folks, but never touches his own, then I'm kind of like, come on, guys. Just rip everybody equally.
I imagine when you're doing crowd work, if you find someone who's a seeming at least if they seem center right or conservative, they probably can take the joke. Whereas
Of
blue
course
hairs,
they
can't take a
can.
joke, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
of course.
that's
Okay.
a great point.
Yeah.
How do you handle that? Like, and I know let's run a clip in a second because I know we got at least one or two clips, and we've been having so much fun with you. We haven't shown any of your stand up, but in the last, well, let's say in the last year and 1 month, because there's lots of material since DJT took back over. In the last year and a month, you doing stand up, how has the temperature been out there? And give us some examples in different states, cities you've been to where it's been great and no problems. And then somewhere you're like, am I going to get out of here alive, or is this liberal whale going to attack me?
I've noticed it's been better. I feel like the crowds. Well, I tend to do shows in cities that maybe are more red or more Republican, but even sometimes like I'll perform in a place like Dallas, which is kind of a blue city.
Yep.
But like the people who come out to see me do tend to lean more right. So they kind of know what to expect. But I've noticed that like crowds, like the average crowd is going to like, I think lean more right. It seems like the Overton window has shifted. It seems more common. Like it's just common sense beliefs that you're going to be a little bit more like on the right. Or,
I feel like you just said though, Riley, we can laugh at ourselves. I feel like conservative folks can literally remove that personal offense mechanism, like I'm so offended, and laugh at it. Like if I'm sitting, and by the way, you performed in San Diego, not very conservative anymore when you and I met. Let's be real. It used to be. It's all blue now. We were red like 6-7 years ago. Our mayor, our council, everything.
Yep.
Like if you'd have looked at me that night and started ripping me on something, I would have laughed my ass off as long as it was funny.
I should have had more specific Dan Ball jokes. But I didn't know if you would
There's
for
always
sure
next
come or
time.
not.
Why didn't you
Yeah.
go to the show that night, by the way? What were you doing?
Yeah, Riley.
missed your show.
Yeah.
I did. There was
She came in and did your show that day and then went and did stand-up. I went with your producer.
was
You
that
didn't even
You know
show
what?
up.
I'm getting my tattoo removed. That's it.
No,
I'm upset.
no.
Cross it out and put Dan.
Yeah, well,
No. It's not like that. We can fix this. Just give me a second chance.
You didn't even
Okay.
support your guest. You didn't go out and
Yeah.
cheer her on.
There was.
Unbelievable.
I want to say there was something. Let's go with that. I've got a cover.
Unbelievable. It was probably a girl that he's not even with anymore, so whatever.
Oh,
Okay.
All right.
Ha ha.
All right. That was kind of funny. Actually.
It was
But-
your girlfriend at the time.
Okay. The point is, Conservatives have a sense of humor, so they gravitate toward these shows. The left, their social circles are so small and small. They're insufferable. And do we have a clip of this, by the way? I think we have a clip where
Which is this one?
What?
I don't know if it's the one that you and I were watching earlier. Let's just roll it and see, and then we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Here's Chrissy doing some stand-up. We don't know where or when. She'll fill us in after. Roll the clip.
Hello. What's your name? Son.
I'm Chavin.
Chavin?
It's Charles and Calvin smashed together.
Charles and Kelvin smashed together, so Chalvin.
Noah.
Chavin. Was this your guy's idea, or did you let him name himself? Chalvin?
Chavin.
Like Gavin, but Chavin. That's what my mother-in-law said.
Alvin and Gavin? Wait. Kelvin and Gavin. Chalvin.
Chavin, like Gavin.
Chavin.
Like Kevin, but CHA. Kevin, Kevin.
Chavin.
Every single person in this room thinks that's a bad idea.
All right, so that's some crowd work, right?
This was definitely before I got pregnant. Probably right before I got married. So it had to have been like, maybe it was like 2023, I think. And that was at Tiff's, one of my favorite places to do stand up in Morris Plains, in New Jersey.
Oh, so
And
like
it was
home for
like
you
a couple,
almost.
it was like, yeah, it was close to home. And it was like, they were kind of like lefty loony type parents, and they had given their son such a ridiculous name. And like part of me was like, I kind of was like purposely saying it wrong, but also I couldn't wrap my mind around like, this is what you're calling your son for the rest of their life is Chavin. Like
Chavin.
And I just was like, yeah, everyone in here thinks this is
What
a
did they
bad
say?
name.
It was a
Like,
combo of Chad and what?
Gavin,
Gavin.
like
Gavin?
Gavin with a CH, basically Chavin.
Chad meets
I'm like,
Gavin.
What
Chavin.
the hell is that?
That was one of the only clips we could run because some of her material is a little colorful, and we were
All right,
worried that this episode of Anchormen would not make it up on certain platforms.
Oh, okay. I need to
Because
put some more
I just want to
wholesome
put that
clips
disclaimer
out there.
out for you because you are really funny and the jokes I think are hilarious that you tell. But we were so worried when we knew we were having you on. We're like, if we show some jokes that upset some of the
Okay.
folks, and I won't say which platforms, y'all know which platforms.
We know how this goes.
that
We
we
all
post
know.
this on.
Yes, we know.
Then
We
they
know.
will knock it down or censor it or censor our whole page so we don't put certain jokes out or say certain things.
Which is a real shame, by the way. It really is. But
It sucks.
however, for people who want to see the good stuff, socials, could you just plug yourself for
Yeah,
a minute?
where do we go find Chrissy?
Oh, yes. Everywhere. Chrissy Mayer, ChrissieMayer. My biggest platform is probably Twitter. And then I'm also, I have lots of podcasts on YouTube, Rumble. I also stream to Twitter as well and Twitch. And I'm also on Instagram. There's some more clips on Instagram at Chrissy Mayer Pod. And I have a show every Sunday night called Simpcast at 9 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Rumble, Twitter. And yeah, every Friday you can see me on Friday Night Tights, which is like a culture and like nerd sort of critique show. That's 4 p.m. Eastern on Nerdrotic's channel.
Friday
All right.
night
Friday Night
tights.
Tights.
Friday night
Yes.
tights. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to leave it because we're almost out of time. Where's some upcoming shows? And do you have a website or a calendar where we can find them? And are you coming back to SoCal where we're
Oh,
based?
yes. Yes, I will prioritize that ASAP so I can get my tattoos fixed and to include Dan's name on there. And you
That's
know
going
what?
to be really weird. You're talking about threesomes in Tampa. It's going to be like Riley and Dan were here. I mean, that's you belong then down in Tampa, I guess.
Yeah, sword fighting. I'm excited. I'm excited to come back to San Diego. And when I do have some
went there.
dates, I will post them on my website, ChrissyMayer.com.
And it's Mayor with no E.
Correct.
Mayor with
M-A-Y-R.
no E. Chrissy Mayer, no E.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Chrissy, thank you so much for coming on,
Thank you for having me, boys.
having us chuckle for almost an hour with you and learning more about where Miss Chrissy Mayer came from. Anything else you got for her?
Just keep fighting.
She's got the kids to go, by the way. She
I
texted
know,
me
I
earlier
know,
going,
but just keep fighting. I mean, this country was crazy for 4 years with Joe Biden, and comedy was basically blackballed and outlawed. And
Yeah,
it's nice to get back to real comedy. So just please keep it up. We need this.
yeah,
Thank
make
you.
fun
Yeah,
of everybody.
You're staving off the Civil War, so just please keep fighting for America. Keep doing what you're doing.
And if there is a civil war, I'll be there doing crowd work. So
That would be fun, and I would pay to see that. Chrissy Mayer, everybody, comedian, conservative comedian, if that's okay to say, podcaster, and what did you call her at the beginning? A culture warrior?
Yes.
For the conservative side?
Yes.
I like that. Is that okay? We'll title you
yeah.
conservative culture warrior comedian podcaster.
keep the
Chrissy Mayer.
compliments coming. I'll have to listen to this later at night.
When you're sober?
When I'm sober. Yes. When I come out of this blackout.
That's right.
Yeah.
When all the pantsings are over, give this a listen. Right.
I think we kept this about PG-13. Good job, everybody.
Yes. This was good.
Way
Good
to
for
go.
us.
I think it was only one F-bomb.
I have to go pick up some Legos now, although I don't really see them as Legos on the floor. I just see it as free acupuncture for my feet. So.
Yes. That's the joy
On
of
the
having
bright
kids,
side.
Chrissy. Enjoy.
Have
a good night. Thank you so
love
much,
you guys.
dear.
Bye.
Yep, love you. Appreciate you. See you. Bye.
That was awesome.
That was fun.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
literally, I think we only had one thing that we're going to have to censor for the censor folks.
And I think in
She slipped in a little F-bomb there somewhere, right? Didn't hear
I
that?
think so. Yeah. We'll fix it. But
It was mild.
yeah, maybe they won't notice. But that was also maybe the first time in over a year of doing this we haven't had time for headlines at all, which is great.
No, we didn't need to do
No, I know,
any
but it's just
news.
no, of course not. But
Talk about who she is and what she does, and
yeah,
she had some good one-liners in there, and and good quips and quick comebacks, and let's get more comedians on this show.
agreed.
How about
Yeah,
that?
Agreed.
The problem is we're conservative.
I know.
How many comedians you think would risk coming on a conservative podcast?
We're gonna find out. We're gonna
Yeah.
find out. If you guys have suggestions,
There you go.
let us know. Maybe you know somebody. So
If you're a comedian out there and you're trying to get your career going more and you want some publicity, we'd love to highlight you. And even if you're not conservative, that doesn't matter. We'd still love to have you if you have the cojones to come on and talk with us and tell us about yourself. I just have a feeling most won't because they worry it'll hurt their career because of our network is known as conservative.
yeah, well, you know what? Actually, it might go well because as someone who watches a lot of comedy, most comics these days they seem to lean that way. Truly, like we were talking about. I mean,
Well, I don't know if they lean toward conservatism. Most comics lean towards free speech.
Yes.
Being able to tell a joke of any
but
kind
I mean,
and caliber
they've
they
been
want
pushed
to.
out by the woke radicals that have taken over
Yeah,
the
I think
left.
you- I think you've turned-
hang out with conservatives.
Yeah, I think you've turned some comics that were probably apolitical
Yes.
into more conservative because over the last 5 to 10 years, they went, wait a minute, you're trying to tell me I can't tell that joke because it offends this group of people. BS. I tell all these other jokes that offend people, but nobody wants to cancel me. Uh-oh, I told one about LGBTQ. Uh-oh, I said one about a certain race. Oh, about a certain religion, about a certain political party.
Yep.
And now I'm doxxed. Oh, now I'm canceled. Like
Bingo.
she said. Now they called me on the next gig and said, no gig this Saturday night.
Bingo.
So
Yep.
I would hope that most comics would lean towards conservatism since our movement is the only one trying to protect the First Amendment.
And it's based in truth, and that's the root of all good jokes, right? Is some kind of inkling of truth. You're teaching people something.
Well, yeah,
and
she made fun of those stereotypes and said, hey, I didn't
Absolutely,
make them
yes.
up. Well, where do stereotypes come from? Okay? And what I'll tell you, my grandma always said this about a joke. There's always a little bit of truth in every joke, Danny.
Bingo.
So,
Wise words.
so don't get your panties in a bunch over it. Laugh a little.
Seriously.
It's good for you. All right, we got to wrap this up, man. We just hit an hour.
And with that, our sponsor. So housekeeping stuff. Grunt Style, their team.
Yeah, Grunsdale Foundation, great charity, all veteran owned, operated. Besides the awesome merch that we wear all the time, they actually have a foundation, a nonprofit group, and the money when you buy the merch goes over to the foundation, and then they have all kinds of veteran services. So we love our partnership with Grunsdale Foundation, and of course, we wouldn't be able to sit here and do this and tell jokes and goof off and have fun for an hour every Friday night if it wasn't for Robert Herring and the Herring family here at OAN.
Absolutely. And also, which I completely agreed, and if not for you guys, the audience, the viewers, this is why we're doing this. It's a blessing and a privilege to be able to do this. We just talk shop all day long.
It's a lot more fun than our talk shows.
It's really
I'm sorry.
amazing. So on
Can we
that note,
swap and do these 5 days a week and the talk show once a week?
we'll look into
These
it.
are a lot more fun.
But like, subscribe. We're on the socials: YouTube, X, Truth Social, Facebook. You can find us anywhere. Subscribe. Click the notification bell so you are alerted when we drop these episodes, which are twice a week, right? Thursday at 7 Eastern.
Yeah, Matt
Then-
and Pearson drop
yes,
theirs on Thursdays
yes.
at 7. We drop ours on Fridays at 7. And then besides on social media, they broadcast these on OAN over the weekend. You just got to check the listing. For all things OAN, the easiest thing is to go to OANN, OneAmericanNewsNetwork.com. You can then sign up for the app there if you don't have Spectrum or Sling or Dish somewhere we're broadcasting on. Plus, you'll see the lineup for Riley's show, The Real Story, for my show, for the whole lineup. So go to the website. We'll see you next week. Big thanks to our guest tonight, comedian Chrissy Mayer, no E. See you next week. Final word to you, sir.
And of course, if you have suggestions, questions, comments, concerns, just let us know. We read the comments. We care, okay? So just let us know about anything. We want to hear from you and make this interactive. So just drop a like, comment, share with your friends, family, repost. And for otherwise, we will see you guys next time.
See you next week.
Want to see more great videos like this? Click on the link below to subscribe to OAN Live and watch Dan Ball's Real America and The Matt Gaetz Show on Dish Channel 212. Tune in, subscribe, and watch today.